Well, what makes the Idaho Falls Zoo special? I'll tell you right now that there is nowhere like the Idaho Falls Zoo. One, it's accredited by the Association of Zoos and Aquariums, which means we have the very highest quality of animal care. Two, we are a center for conservation. The amount of money that's raised and conservation that happens in the zoo and outside of the zoo is something quite special for wildlife here in eastern Idaho and around the world. And also, and finally, for a city of our size, in a rural area like eastern Idaho, to have a zoo of the quality of the Idaho Falls Zoo with the extraordinary wildlife that here is at the Idaho Falls Zoo just makes it a very, very special place.
As a zoologist, you should be really passionate about science. So I'd recommend getting a bachelor's degree in a science-related field such as zoology, environmental science, and biology, either or. Also look for volunteer opportunities to help out with domestic animals or exotic animals.
I work almost entirely with these penguins, and they definitely have personalities, which means that they have preferences about their keepers. So this is Frankie. She and I are pretty good friends, but she really, really loves another keeper that works here. I have a really good relationship with some of the others, so these guys absolutely have preferences about who their keepers are.
Our most endangered species at the zoo are golden lion tamarins like Tam and Madison here. They're endangered because of deforestation in their habitat due to palm oil production, and there's only about 1,000 left in the wild.
So in our job we use a lot of different types of math. So one of them is we have to weigh out the diets to make sure that they're getting the proper amount of meat or fish. We also have to weigh the animals. So we've got to make sure that we can convert, pounds and kilograms and make sure that it all adds up. So here I work with a lot of different types of species. I work with birds and mammals, and I also work with some of the reptiles. I work with the Australian animals, so that's your wallabies and your New Guinea singing dogs. I also work with African animals, so I've got zebras and our little dikers. I also work in our South America area, which is right here behind me. Here we've got guanacos and rheas. Now the hardest animal to work with is our male rhea. Let's see where he is today. Of his female. So whenever I come in the yard, I have to make sure I know exactly where he's at. So I keep my distance and make sure he's safe and I'm safe.
When walking through the zoo, you might not know that we actually have a veterinary hospital on grounds. And this is where all of our awesome animal care staff hang out, and they take care of our animals in the zoo.
So this is Justice. She's a Great Pyrenees, and she's my favorite animal here at the zoo. Justice has a really cool story for how she got here. So Hondo, our male lion, when he was just a cub, he had a life-threatening injury and it required stitches. So during that time where he was healing and couldn't be put back with his parents, we found Justice at the animal shelter and brought her to the zoo so she could help with raising Hondo.
So the best part of my job, I would say, is getting to hang out with all the animals and seeing their personalities. They all have really distinct personalities, and so it's really interesting to see who wants to hang out with you, who doesn't, see how they each are. And the hardest part would probably be all the cleaning up that we have to do. All these animals, they poop everywhere. You got to clean it up. The wheelbarrows can get kind of heavy, and so that would probably be the hardest thing, is keeping these guys really clean.
So the most dangerous animal here at the Idaho Falls Zoo, it's kind of a mixed answer, but for the most part it's actually the camels. One wouldn't think those, but because we actually can go in with them, they're so large. The male weighs over 2 tons, and it's just one of those that they can hurt us without even a second thought. But regardless of the camels, we do have bears, lions, a tiger, and snow leopards that are all very dangerous animals as well. So an area for the spot I work in, I would have to say the friendliest animal would probably be the servals. Just for a lot of different reasons, but these guys have been trained and worked on to be kind of an education ambassador animal, and so that has made them enjoy being around people, as opposed to a lot of the other animals here who still hold on to a lot of their wild instincts. Those guys do enjoy the interaction and attention from people than some of the others.